What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Namaste, everyone, and welcome to the Awakening World. I'm Love Coach Scott Thomas. I'm your host of the show, and we have a wonderful show today. We've got all these wonderful artists from all over the world, 3 different continents, sharing how they are catalyzing evolution, how they are supporting the awakening world through their art. It's going to be a very dynamic show. I want to welcome all of you that are in our Zoom room. I see a lot of our regular friends, including many of the people that were at our retreat here in Sedona. And so that's pretty exciting. And I want to welcome everybody watching on Facebook or YouTube. A big thanks to Alan Steinfeld. He always carries our shows on his New Realities YouTube channel. And a big thanks to John and Summer Raymer. They run the Sign Network, S-I-N-E, and that puts us out to as many as 100 Facebook groups and pages. So if you're watching us that way, welcome. Thank you so much for being with us. And one of the things that's really wonderful is we are building community here. The Global Peace Tribe interacts every weekend almost with different organizations. For example, this weekend, we have been working with the Evolutionary Leaders Network. And so this is a wonderful way to be connected to the awakening of our planet, and through us meet all the other different organizations and people who are change makers. And to join us is really easy. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com, and you'll see a little orange banner down here that says register, and that will register you for this new season. You'll get the links to all of our shows for the rest of the year. And do you know that we do 3 shows every weekend? So this is the show that we did on Friday night, all members of the Evolutionary Leaders Network this weekend, last night's show, and then this, of course, is the show that's taking place today. And then we do special events. For example, tomorrow night, I want to invite everybody to a very special event. It's free. It's part of the Global Peace Tribe, where we are honoring these great visionaries. And you'll hear from Gary Zukav, Marianne Williamson, Neil Donald Walsh, Matt Kahn, and the Twin Ray. So these are all things that take place by joining the Global Peace Tribe. So come be part of the tribe. We've been looking for you. Okay, speaking of tribe, one of the greatest blessings of my life through the Global Peace Tribe was about 2 years ago. We were doing a show called Saturday Night Alive. And everybody kept saying, you've got to have Kristin Hoffmann. When are you going to have Kristin Hoffmann on the show? And I didn't know who Kristin Hoffmann was. Well, we had her on the show. She has become not only one of our absolute favorite musical artists, but honestly, she's become one of my favorite human beings on the planet. She is so extraordinarily talented and so kind, and she's got this big heart. So I am honored that my co-host for the show today, and really who I'm going to turn most everything over to, is Kristin Hoffmann.
Oh, it's so amazing to be here with you again, Scott. It's always just like a pure love fest when we have the chance to co-host together. And I know today is going to be extraordinary. We have so many amazing guests.
I know
And
it's almost too much. It's like each person is so amazing. So,
I
well,
know we could do a whole show with each person.
we could. Tell us about this group. Now, this is a group that you helped organize, part of the Evolutionary Leaders Network, the Artists Catalyzing Evolution. Tell us about that.
Yes. So, artists catalyzing evolution, otherwise referred to in short as ACE. We call it the ACE Synergy Circle. We are a part of the Evolutionary Leaders. We are mostly comprised of artists in the Evolutionary Leaders, but also evolutionary leaders who really see that weaving with the arts as there is dialogue or symposiums and whatnot can be such a powerful way to really amplify awareness and cohesiveness in any space. So we meet with this incredible circle of artists, and I'd say weavers with artists, every month for about an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. And this space has been so incredible, both as a space of co-visioning. We all get to really speak into what we're working on, support. A lot of us, as artists, we feel a lot of times alone on our paths, and this has really been a space of support. Visioning together around how, as conscious artists, we can really amplify and make a difference in the world, both on our own and together. And we also dream into new projects such as this. This being on your show, Scott, really was birthed out of the ACE gatherings. And we said, oh, we would really like to have a space where some of us can seasonally share what we're working on. And Scott said, oh, I know the place. So here we are. This is our second time joining you on The Awakening World. And we have mostly new artists this time from the ACE Circle, and one beloved artist who was here on our last round who will be joining us and showing us her next evolution of her project that she premiered last time. So I'm super excited to share this with you. And I also just want to say, even though this is an Evolutionary Leaders Artist Circle where we meet each month, I want this to serve as an inspiring space for you who are watching today, because I truly believe we are each a conscious artist in our own unique way. And we each have our unique gifts. And I fully believe that our unique voice has a place in this world and has a special way that can really lift and help bring people together. So if you're watching today and you feel that kind of sparkly creative sensation within yourself, use that, move with it. Maybe you want to create your own ACE circle in your life with a few like-minded souls. So we're here to really open up a space of inspiration. And I think that I can speak for everyone in that is our main goal as conscious artists, that we can really open up portals where others can remember who they are, where you can remember who you are and what your role in this world really is. So that's my intention. I think I can say we really all share that intention, and just really looking forward to diving in with you today.
Beautiful. And we always like to start with music. And how blessed. We do have Omashar with us, everybody, by the way. Omashar is holding space, and he did an amazing job last night running the show in my absence. So all hail Omashar.
That's right. It was fun, a lot of fun, I tell you. Yeah, we missed you, and we now know the work that you do behind the scenes. Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, thank you, Omashar. And Omashar will be playing for us at the end of the show. But when we've got Kristin Hoffmann here, we definitely are honored that she's going to start us off with a salome. And explain to people what this salome is.
Okay, so let me get my my headphones on. I call this my music spaceship. When I go online, I have a little section in my studio and I call it the music spaceship. So let me just step in for a second. This piece that I'm going to bring through right now has not been written. I call this style solom, soul light, weaving with Om, the vibration of the universe. Send your intentions into this field. I like to think, actually, not like to think, I have learned that we are all co-creating this song together. So please send your intentions in. Also, if anyone is unmuted, please just make sure you're muted during the music. And here we go. So much love. Love is the journey being birthed in this moment. Feel the purity, eternal love of you. Hold your heart wide open, wide open. Feeling that expansion. Feeling that beautiful expansion. You're in a safe, trusting space of family. Opening, opening, opening more. Remembering that this journey is about these simple moments where you step back into your fullness of spirit and let go of any fears and just open more in love and light. Infinite gratitude.
Let's send some love and twinkle energy to beautiful, beloved Kristin. I've got it on gallery view so we can see a lot of our friends, including Kiki and I'm guessing her granddaughter. Thank you so much. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I see Kristin's father, Henry. Thank you, Henry, so much for bringing this wonderful woman into our world, Henry. You know, I have tears every time I listen to her songs. So thank you so much for your beautiful role in bringing this angel, this earth angel, to our world and supporting her as you have. Thank you, Henry Hoffmann.
Good to see you, Dad. Oh, my dad's come to literally hundreds, probably thousands of shows. He's been a mega supporter in this life and always so grateful. Okay. So I'm coming back in.
That was amazing. I mean, really, you just took us to such a high place. So much. It was beautiful. If you ever go back and watch, I actually took some snapshots of all the audience just blissed out. You know, it was really beautiful watching how so many of the people we love on this show were tuning in and connecting with you and really flying with you. You take us on a journey where we fly with you, Kristin.
It's always good to fly again, right? I love flying. Let's all continue to fly together. And speaking of flying and just creative goodness, I'm super excited to welcome our first Ace Synergy Circle guest, Lisa Witter. Lisa is a psycho-spiritual counselor, meditation teacher, and creator of the Karmic Warrior Oracle deck, which we're going to find out a lot about today. For the past 20 years, she's helped spiritually minded, high-performing women and men to break free of old patterns and past wounds so that they can live a freer, fuller life and contribute to the flourishing of humankind by awakening to their true nature. Lisa, I love you so much, and I'm so excited about this deck you've created. And I have to say, Lisa is a multifaceted artist. She is so full spectrum and has so many incredible creative gifts. And today we get to experience one of her new births. And it's just such an honor to have you here and so beautiful to weave with you each month in the Ace Energy Circle. I'll turn it over to you. We're going to experience a special treat of Lisa's.
Thank you, Kristin. It's wonderful to be here. And I feel like I feel, number one, honored to be here and to be with all of my brothers and sisters, all doing such amazing work in the world. I just am in awe. I'm totally humbled, and I feel grateful that we get to ride the wave of Kristin's invocation right now. How perfect. So yeah, I'm going to spend just a short, brief time with you talking a little bit about something that I have that has become very near and dear to my heart. And it's this maybe underutilized or less known or maybe misunderstood spiritual law that governs all of manifest reality. And yet it's quite esoteric. In the Western world, we think of it as something quite simple, as very black and white. So when I say what the law is, you'll go, oh yeah, I know what that is. And it's the law of karma. And I'm just curious, if you wouldn't mind, we can make this a little bit interactive. Just as I am going on here, I'd love to hear in the chat what your idea of karma is. Like, how do you define karma? What is karma anyway? Because it's an important it's important for me to understand where you're at, because I'm going to share this oracle with you in just a moment. We're going to do an oracle reading, a group oracle reading together. So first of all, and while you're writing your little responses, in the chat, I'll just let you know that the law of karma is a doctrine that's held by all Eastern spiritual traditions. So it's the one thing, there's all these philosophies out there in Eastern spiritual traditions that they sort of disagree on these certain aspects of reality. But the one thing that they all agree on is the law of karma. However, I think that it's not given much of a second thought for us as Western spiritual seekers, mostly because it's a very esoteric doctrine. It's very complex, and it does require years of study and practice to fully understand. So I'm going to hop in the chat and just look really quick and see if we have any let's see, you sow what you reap. Vibration, I'm thinking vibration, all is vibrating and resonating. Just sort of karma is how our soul supports us to learn lessons, receiving what you put out. Beautiful, beautiful. So the summation of all the forces of the universe interacting with the total of me. I think I'm just going really quick through here. I think of myself as having instant karma. When I think good thoughts, I am peaceful and flow with things, they go well. If I'm angry or have bad thoughts, then I immediately hurt myself. So great. These are all like a really great start, and it's where what most people think about when you think of karma, cause and effect. And in fact, karma itself is just a Sanskrit word that means action, in case, so if you're just saying the word karma, it actually just means action. The law of karma is often known as the law of cause and effect. However, karma is much more complicated than do something and then something else happens. And so I'm going to give a super quick, this is like high level, super crash course, Cliff's Notes version of the law of karma and how we manifest, because the law of karma really tells us, it really is the law of manifestation. And what most people think is that it's your actions create your consequences. However, if you investigate much deeper into the law of karma, what we learn is that it's not our actions that create consequences. There's something more subtle that's prior to our actions. And that is in Eastern spiritual tradition, what's known as a misunderstanding of who we really are. So a case of mistaken identity. And when we have a case of mistaken identity, we don't know who we really are. It creates this feeling inside that something is missing. Like there's this sense of, I can't quite put my finger on it, but something's missing. I'm not sure what it is. So that leads to a desire, and that desire is to fill a void, an inescapable void, with acquiring something to make you feel whole or getting rid of something to make you feel whole. So we can already see that when we're coming from a case of mistaken identity, our desires are also misinformed, and then we take action from those desires, and it's those actions that create the consequences and the results in our life, whether they're pleasurable or painful. However, what tradition tells us is that whenever our actions come from a place of not knowing who we really are, then the results that we create in our life will always lead to suffering. Suffering being mind-created suffering. And even if in the beginning you're like, but wait, I got the house that I wanted. I got the partner that I wanted. Well, it's not that easy, because yeah, maybe you got the house you wanted, but then in 6 months, the roof starts leaking, your solar panels aren't working, and then it's like, oh my God, I don't have the money to fix the roof, or whatever it is, right? So I just give you that little sketch of karma, and I go much deeper into this in my teachings and with my clients. But what I want to do is tell you that I created this deck. It's called the Karmic Warrior Oracle, and it's using the principles it's using yogic principles, primary yogic principles, primarily in the realm of Tantra, non-dual Tantra, to teach people how to harness the law of karma to heal recurring patterns in your life, to put an end to relationship mistakes, to replace struggle with effortless manifestation, to reclaim your inherent power, and to live a life of ease and flow and fulfillment, even when we're facing really big challenges in our life, as we have recently been. So what I thought we would do is pull 3 cards from the oracle. Now, the oracle is prescriptive, not predictive. So that means it's going to give us guidance. And because we're going into a really important day here on November 8th, does that ring a bell for anybody? November 8th. Something important is happening on November 8th. And you might even know it as 2 important things are happening. One is
Election day
yes,
and
yes.
the eclipse.
Yes, not just an eclipse, a full moon lunar eclipse. Holy moly, what the heck? We have that happening on for us in America on election day. So I think that there's some really interesting energies all coming in confluence with each other, because we have this full moon, which represents the fullness of our being, everything, right? And then we have that full moon is being eclipsed. It's being, the light is being eclipsed from it. So very interesting. So what we're going to do is, if we can just for a moment close our eyes and move into that place that Kristin just took us to, riding the wave of Kristin's invocation back into our hearts, back into that place of stillness. And from this place, we're going to ask, what is it that wants to be revealed to us during this full moon lunar eclipse? What is it that wants to be revealed to us during this full moon lunar eclipse? All right, so coming back into our space together, I've picked 3 cards, and I'll just share them with you briefly. Well, I'm going to go through them with you. So the first card I chose is called Liberate, or it's the Liberate suit. The second card is from the Awaken suit, and they each have messages on the back, which I'm going to come to. And the third card that we got is Orientation. So each one of these cards represents a different part of a bigger message for us during this time. And the way that I read the cards is from left to right. And we'll start with Liberate. This is the theme that we are dealing with during this time. And so the theme that the Oracle is telling us, can we see that? Scott, can you see, does that show up on the screen there? Do I need to?
Yeah, we can't read the words. We can see separation.
Okay, perfect. So our theme is separation. I'm going to read the message on the card. And just to let you know, there's 2 messages. There's one on the top, one on the bottom. Both of these are interpretations of this principle, of this yogic principle. However, the one interpretation, which is at the top, represents when you are fully in your power. In other words, you understand and are abiding in your true nature. This is how you'll experience separation. When you are not in your power, not abiding in your true nature, how you will experience separation. So we'll put this all together. I'm going to read both interpretations. So what the Oracle is telling us is, in the positive, or when you're abiding in your true nature, how you will experience separation is you experience diversity in all its forms as an expression of the one divine consciousness. And then when we're not in our power, when we're not abiding in our true nature, on the opposite end of the spectrum, you experience difference as something that divides and separates you from others. How perfect is this for November 8th, that this is the theme that we're dealing with. Like, it's the theme that we're dealing with collectively.
I think that's amazing, because it's true. Because sadly, there's so much separation in our world right now politically. It's so polarized. So that is amazing that you pulled that card.
I know. And the fact that when we are in our power, we experience separation not as separation, but as diversity of unique expressions of the one divine consciousness. So separation is experienced instead as just different ways of the divine expressing itself. So that's the theme. So now we have the second card, which is the awakened suit, and our message on it is maintaining. Now, this card represents our unseen challenge. So it's the challenge that faces us during this time that perhaps we're not seeing. So again, I'll read both interpretations, but this time I'm going to read the interpretations from the bottom up because this card is our unseen challenge. We're more likely to, it's telling us, it wants us to be aware of this lower interpretation, and we're wanting to move towards the upper interpretation, right? From being in a state of powerlessness to being in our power. So maintaining. When we're not in our power, we have aversion or attachment to the way things are. It's the inability to see that all things come and go in due time. And then when we're moving into our power, how we will experience this principle of maintaining is the understanding that while certain things seem to be constant and unchanging, everything is impermanent. It's allowing things to be as they are. So again, our unseen challenge here is to be attached to what's happening, almost so embroiled and engrossed and over focused on what's happening right now that we forget everything is a cycle. Everything has a life cycle to it. And we're in the middle of one of those cycles right now. And don't get too attached to thinking that this is how it's going to be forever. No, this is part of a larger natural pattern that's playing out, that's unfolding for us. Okay, and then we'll go to the final card, which is of the orientation suit. And oh my gosh, this is amazing. This entire, what the Oracle is telling us is amazing. So the message here, the principle is worldview. Worldview. So this card represents our unseen opportunity. It's the exact opposite of the card that we just, or the message that we just got. So for this card, the Oracle wants us to read the top interpretation, and it's giving us the warning that we don't want to go down. We want to really see if we can abide in this, closer towards this top interpretation. So I'll read the top interpretation first. So again, the principle is worldview. You hold a clear view about the nature of life and reality. Your view is supported by time-proven teachings, which you put into practice in daily life. And so that's when we're in our power. That's how we understand worldview. And when we're not in our power, which I'll read now, you have a limited or unclear view of reality and may even unconsciously hold conflicting views which cause confusion about why things happen as they do or why your practices seem to produce inconsistent results. So just unpacking that one a little bit, because I work with so many clients in this entire world. What I see personally is a lot of clients come to me holding conflicting worldviews. For instance, they really are attracted to Buddhism, but they still have deep roots in their Christianity, which is fine. It's totally fine. But then they're trying to practice two different worldviews and become very conflicted within, like, well, which one is it? And in turn, it creates quite a bit of confusion. So what this card is telling us is now is the opportunity to get very clear on what worldview you're holding so that you can begin to see things more clearly without confusion. So that's the unseen opportunity here. So I'm going to lay all these out one more time for you, and then I'll hand it back over to our hosts, to our wonderful hosts, Scott and Kristin. So our overall theme, remember the question was, what wants to be revealed to us during this full moon lunar eclipse? Our theme is saying, let's be aware of separation. That's going to be the bigger theme. The suit is liberate, which I didn't explain. Liberate simply means it's the process of releasing old stories, beliefs, mental constructs about who we think we are. Separation. Second card was our unseen challenge. That unseen challenge is maintaining, right? And our card is awaken, which I love that we got both liberate and awaken, because awaken is about abiding in your true nature and being grounded in your true nature, coming from that place in which you see reality. And then finally, we got our final card. Our opportunity is to be very committed to a worldview, our worldview. And this doesn't mean, and when I say worldview, or when the Oracle is talking about worldview, it's really talking about a deeper commitment to seeing reality as it truly is, right? And so this is orientation. The orientation suit, you can see it's the picture of the woman in the labyrinth, but we have the lotus in the center representing full awakening and finding our way to that place. That orientation is about making sure I'm not seeing a part and thinking it's the whole. It's about coming back, having a much larger view so that you're seeing things accurately. All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we see these things through our veil, and because my veil is all about the awakening world and coming into oneness. But I think that's exactly what your presentation showed us. It's like there's all this separation, but as we liberate ourselves, as we awaken, we form a worldview, which, of course, I think most of us on the show is oneness, moving from the right, wrong, good, bad polarization, old paradigm, into the new awakened world where we are liberated into the oneness of us all.
Yes, absolutely.
So profound. And I loved also how you encouraged us to zoom out and see the full cycles, because I think part of that separation that you spoke of really comes from us thinking that our little piece of the cycle is all there is. And I love that you really brought us back to that zoom out possibility, especially during such a powerful time as the full moon lunar eclipse. That is incredible.
It's crazy. And this, I really feel, is it's a different expression of what Kristin did in the beginning of her beautiful improvised channeling of the divine. In the same way, the Karmic Warrior Oracle was birthed out of my wanting to be able to gift the principles of yoga in a way that made it relatable. And it's not even me. I mean, you can see we just picked the cards. It's not me. They're not my teachings. This is coming from an ancient system of teachings. And so I give honor to that. This is not about Lisa Witter creating this. This is coming from lineage and lots and lots of ancient wisdom as well.
I want to read a couple comments, and then we're going to go to your website. Eleanor Jory writes, a very clever way of writing up the cards. This deck is simple, yet very, very profound. Suzanne adds to that, yes, amazing how profound the message. Jeffrey, kind of in response, writes, reality course with science of oneness. And of course, he's all about the Resonance Science Foundation, which is teaching us these principles. And Karen Eisenberg writes, Lisa, wow, amazing what cards came to speak for us and your beautiful interpretation. Thank you. And then finally, Charlotte writes, thank you for this great preparation for the eclipse and full moon and those elections. So, hey, let's learn more about Lisa. And that's by going to her website, which is karmic-warrior.com. Karmic-warrior.com. And I love that picture of you, Lisa. And she is a psycho-spiritual counselor. I don't think I've ever heard those words put together like that before. It's beautiful. And so this is where we can learn more about her, really becoming a karmic warrior. That's a beautiful vision. And let's everybody right now do what I'm doing. Put in your name and your email address so that she can keep you updated on all that she's doing. And let's order those cards, and we can order the cards here, right?
Yes, so the cards will be ready for pre-order in just a couple weeks. So just as you did, if you put your name and email address in there, you will get put on my pre-order list. So I will notify you and when the cards are ready to be ordered in just a couple weeks. And yeah, thank you so much.
Will the cards be delivered by the holidays? Because this would be a great
absolutely.
Christmas present.
You can order them by the holidays. And what I'm going to be doing with the pre-order is adding some fun little bonus pieces for you so that you can really understand the law of karma and how to use this deck to help you. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Wow. Woo! Thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa. Well, I think you've got a guest that you were very excited was going to be able to join us all the way from Ghana.
Yay! I'm so excited. Kwajo Spiri is here. Kwajo is one of the great inspirations in my life. He is an incredible conscious musician and record producer. He imbues his music with African folklore, tribal and foreign elements with a hip hop feel. This blends mainly into a new genre of music he refers to as Afro hop. I love that. And he's on a conscious universal journey towards increasing self-awareness and perfection, and mainly shares his universe experiences as content in the music. So Kwajo and I met when we were both playing live in Ethiopia and on this incredible journey a few years ago with spiritual leaders. And we went to all different parts of Ethiopia, and we had these incredible opportunities to play live and go on a radio station. And oh my goodness, it was engage in these beautiful fire ceremonies under the full, I think there was a lunar eclipse that night as well.
That's right.
Just
That's right.
amazing. So, and right away, I had this feeling that, wow, Kwajo Spiri is such a special human. And I was writing this to Kwajo recently in a text. My soul said, this is an artist that not just an artist, this is a soul who I want to just continuously support with my own heart energy in this life. Like, I just knew right away, Kwajo's voice is very important in this world. And then the format in which he shares his voice, conscious hip hop, I think plays such an important role because these days, especially with younger generations coming in, this form really speaks, the rhythms, the ideas, the messages, they can really speak to these next generations and call in extra love, call in awareness, call in wisdom. So Kwajo, thank you for everything you do. I'm so thrilled you can be here with us live, and I'm going to turn it over to you. I just want to ask you, I know we're going to see a video of yours, but I just want you to talk for a minute, if you don't mind, a few minutes. Can you tell us about your, what is your calling as a conscious artist? What do you think, what are the opportunities right now for the arts, how the arts can play in the world arena? With individuals and collective who may or may not be aware of like kind of an awakening that's happening. What is your role individually, and what do you see as the blessing of the arts at this time? Please.
Awesome.
Please fill us in. I turn it over to you.
Yes. And thanks for the amazing introduction, magnificent. I'm so grateful. And yes, I'm also very happy and very lucky, to have someone like you, Kristin, like in my life, you are a lot of inspiration and you help me do a lot of things. I'm grateful. Yes. Regarding your question, yes, it's a very important question, for the past, I can say for the past 50 years, there's been a gradual awakening in the world. We are gradually shifting into higher and higher, frequencies. And people like half of the world are clinging onto these frequencies, whilst the other half, are so busily engaged still in, the material frequencies, especially the younger, generation. And so my calling actually has been to engage the younger generation and get them to see, the current direction the world is headed. The world is headed like towards awakening. The vibe is increasing gradually. But for the past few years, we have seen massive, change in frequency, in dimensions in the world. And so my music focuses on the youth, especially, try to get the younger ones, to also cling on to these rising conscious energies which are blowing around the world. If you listen to a typical Kobe Spirit verse, it is very conscious. I try to conscientize the youth with youthful music. Especially hip hop and rap. Because like the younger like generation are very hooked onto rap music and hip hop. So I use these mainly as the platform and embedding some of these wonderful lines and words which can, plug some strings within them to begin to take the important things in life more seriously. So yes, I've been called to help raise the vibe on the planet, but to focus more on the youth and do it through youthful music. That is basically, what I'm called to do.
Oh, and you're doing that. You do that so well, Kwadwo. And I think people of all ages, when I see you in your element performing, I just feel this excitement. Like I want to get up and dance. I feel that spark. And that's really one of your great gifts. On your last record, you really got back to the roots of Ghana and tapped into different traditions and honored you had both in addition you really honored traditions and stories and the differing languages. It wasn't all in English. It was right. You had a deep dive into the heritage, into your heritage. And can you tell us a little bit about that? Like, what is it like to weave the history of Ghana into the music and keep it very like it's for all people? Like in listening to your latest record, I've never been to Ghana, but I feel the energy, I feel the inspiration, and it feels relevant to my life as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
That's right. That was the essence of the album, Okwentuni. If I'm not sure you are very conversant with indigenous African sounds or music, but if you really have time and then you sit to do some research about African indigenous sounds and music, you will discover one thing. You realize that African music, I'm not talking about the modernized ones. I'm talking about Afro music, but I'm talking about indigenous African music, the type you heard on Okwentuni, my last project. African indigenous sounds are naturally spiritual. The kind of tunes and tones we actually project in African indigenous sounds is spiritual. An indigenous African is naturally a spiritual being. And so, it infiltrates into all the other aspects of Africanism, into our music, into our culture. If you come to Ghana and then you study African culture, pertaining to Ghanaians, you will find a lot of natural spirituality. Our forefathers were very spiritual. And it's not only Ghana, but in Africa, if you go to South Africa, if you study Zulu culture, if you study the Ashanti culture, if you study the Malian culture, if you study so many of the African cultures back in the day, you find a lot of spirituality. But it looks like as the world evolved, as the world modernized, Africans, we sort of, left behind our natural spiritual behaviors, and clung onto foreign culture. So opportunity sought to make us go back to the root and realize how we were naturally tuned in with the divine, but somewhere along the line, we lost our connection. In Africa, if you study indigenous African languages, you will discover something very interesting. We actually speak to describe exactly what you want to say. Our forefathers came up with a term called Ubuntu. Quite a number of you have heard about the word Ubuntu. Ubuntu is a very deep and divine word. Ubuntu means oneness of all things. That wonderful strength that links us all together spiritually, intellectually, even materially. Our forefathers, our African forefathers, were able to evolve to such a stage that they realized that yes, everything is connected, and evolved a word to describe it. But in other foreign languages, you wouldn't find a word describing oneness. You will find adjectives and words describing the oneness of all things. But we had one word to describe the oneness of it. That should tell you how evolved our forefathers were. But in between the lines, we lost something in there. And so, Okwentuni, my last project, was trying to project that deep, conscious, naturally spiritual African. So you can hear it in the tunes, the way the sounds are composed, the way the vocals are arranged, the content, the lyrical content and all that portrays what Africanism is really about. So Okwentuni, if you want to understand what Africa is, and then you play that record, you should have an idea of who the real African is, as compared to what we do, in modern times. If you listen to modern African sounds, you wouldn't get the true picture of who the African is. But if you listen to indigenous African music, you understand. And Okwentuni seeks to do that, seeks to bring out, that natural African who is naturally spiritual. So yes, I went back to the roots and brought in culture, because Africa is so diverse with beautiful culture, very conscious culture. Africa is naturally conscious. So, I'm seeking to go back to our roots because I find it there. I find the path I'm walking now, the conscious path I'm walking now, the typical African sound sponsors a lot into it. It makes me realize that we have been there before, but we lost it. So, I need to try to make people realize that we have been there before, so that one way or the other, something may click within for us to go back to our roots and discover all the gems, all the wonderful gems which we had before but lost it along the line. So yes, Okwentuni is just one among a series of music I'll be producing, to project Africa in its raw form to the world.
Wow, I love it. This went so deep, Kwajo, and it's beautiful to hear you speak about your connection and inspiration to the roots of Africa, and the spirit that has been the spirit connection that has been lost for some time, and this goal to step back into the space of Ubuntu. Ubuntu. I'm so glad you brought this up, because this oneness and that word is so profound. And I think someone else is talking at the same time. Can we make sure everyone's muted? Perfect. I think that this spirit of oneness, this Ubuntu, that is really the arts play such a powerful role in our reconnection to this space. Music, visuals, they play such an important role so that we can all start to tap into that universal language of spirit and remember that oneness. And wow, thank you. Thank you so much. We're about to see an incredible video that Kwajo made called Sunsum. Am I saying that right?
Yes, Sunsum, you're absolutely right. You know, and it translates into spirit.
Spirit, yes.
Yes.
And where did you record this, Kwajo? Where did you film this video? It's so beautiful.
So it was filmed in Ghana in our Primus University of Ghana, in the forest of University of Ghana. It was produced by myself in Ghana in my studio. And Sunsum actually is just a short word about Sunsum is the journey of an Agondonta. And Agondonta is a word I found in a book I read called the Urantia book, or the Big Blue Book. And it actually it literally means an evolutionary world creature, you know, who can believe without seeing, you know, persevere when isolated, and triumph over insuperable difficulties, even when alone. So Sunsum is more like the journey of the spiritual being, you know, from our earthly planes to the higher spheres. So it's a call out to spirit. It's more like a petition or a prayer to spirit, you know, for strength, for transformation, for peace, for joy, to walk, you know, the earthly path that leads us into higher and higher fields, you know, of vibration. So that is what Sunsum is about, a call out to spirit for strength to endure, you know, the path that leads into light and life.
Wow, incredible. I can't wait. Let's all really tune into that spirit within ourselves, within nature, within the universe as we watch Kwajo's video Sunsum. Here we go.
Okwentune, the Agondonta, an evolutionary world creature who can believe without seeing, persevere when isolated, and triumph over insuperable difficulties even when alone, dedicated to all who walk that path.
Come to you with peace and light, sound and light, love and light. Take a step into the dark and witness the fall of darkness. Darkness cannot be brought before light, being tuned direct from source. Let there be light when we came to life to ignite the flames. Every breath through your mouth shall be the key. Open yourself up. What an inside, see on the board nipa, or we not chain, come home good nipa, and the nipa be your crowd tiasi, into when you nipa view, where your crowd tiasi. Wompusro, Nyame, Funyame Kosi Nyame, Nami Wuna Yawu, Dear Wo, came from eternity to review the chronicles of a silent night. The third eye of seeing beyond the two eyes of knowing. Suma Vahini, Manini Wani, Usuma Wani, the hidden eye that walked the true path within the cosmic essence. See, and Pa, the Shranka Nipa Nipetia, the Piabapa, down Kwa, Nipa Kram Pim, Ukuma Pima Pimbeba. From here and thereafter, with from a crowd and view at your mind, at your take a breath away, knitting together the soul can tread. Divine connection, stay connected.
Samia
Yeah.
Amazing, Quadjo. It just takes you so deep into spirit. And I want to say also, Quadjo not only is the musician, but he also engineers and he's a great producer. He produces all his music. And we've had the joy of doing some collaboration, and it's fun because I have my studio here. Quadjo has his studio in Ghana, and he's just an incredible producer, visionary, engineer, everything. Music video producer, everything.
Quadro, I loved that video. I want you to know, it just,
Thank you
my
so much,
heart
Scott.
totally, I mean, obviously the music is beautiful, but the visuals, the message, it just all comes together. It is such a perfect example of an artist catalyzing evolution, using extreme creative expression to deliver such a beautiful and important message. I freaking love, everybody needs to see this video.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
And we're going to see, I think, Quadjo's YouTube page in a minute. I also go check out the video I Am. Look at his record, Aquandaughter. Oh, wait, Aquandaughter. Am I saying it right?
Yes, Agondonta. That's right. It's actually an English word, but it's not in the English libraries, you know, and like dictionaries. So it's more like a cosmic word. But yes, I mean, I think with time, the world will get to know what an Agondonta is.
I agree.
Yeah.
And
in a remarkable little bit of synchronicity, while he was playing his video, and we were watching it just now, I got a message from Antoinette.
amazing.
And she's in Phoenix. I'm in Sedona. And she was like, oh my God, Scott, you're in Sedona. And it's like, oh my God, you're in Phoenix. And of course, you have all collaborated with Pato and Antoinette. So it is truly one synchronistic, amazing world.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right. That's right.
All right, well, I definitely want to let people know how to get much more Quadjo, because he's got a brand new album. And, you know, it's so important, everybody, for us to support our artists. You've heard me say it many times. So I'll put it into the chat box again. I had put it in previously, but I'll put it again. This is his new album. Tell us a little bit about it, Quadjo.
Yes. So Okwentune is actually, it translates into the Agondonta. And as I've explained already, I mean, who an Agondonta is, you know, an evolutionary creature who can believe with us. You know, in our world, I believe a couple of you might have heard about the Lucifer rebellion that occurred, you know, thousands of years back, you know. It got our world somehow quarantined. And so we are not very familiar with celestial phenomena or reality. Like on other evolutionary spheres, we are definitely not alone in the cosmos. You know, there are evolutionary spheres out there, you know, with peoples like this world, you know, and they are more familiar with celestial stuff because, I mean, their worlds never fell to rebellion, and so, you know, there's more celestial presence in their world. You know, they don't struggle to endure. They don't struggle to have faith, you know, in things pertaining to higher frequency or things that pertain to the supreme. So the Agondonta journey is a more difficult one because over here we have entertained, or we have grown so much faith in spite of the fact that, you know, we don't see much like in terms of celestial presence or divine presence. We rely solely on that inner power within us, and that has been our touch, you know, on our spiritual or on our respective spiritual life journey. So Okwentune is a path of an Agondonta. It actually, you know, outlines the experiences which anybody who is experiencing the conscious path, or anybody who is experiencing transformation, like spiritual transformation or conscious like transformation, the experiences of such a one is what I've laced out in Okwentune. You know, it also, you know, talks about my dreams of world peace, what I want to see in the world regarding peace. You know, it talks about my opinions about so many things in life, you know, about life, my perspective, you know, on things in life. You know, but I mean, the ultimatum is more like it gives information, you know, about my experiences on the journey, you know, on my conscious journey so far. That is basically what Okwentune is.
Beautiful.
We're so grateful for you, Quadjo. Quadjo made a documentary about his journey making
Yep.
Aquatuni. And if you look on his YouTube, you'll be able to watch that. It's kind of a I think it's about 10 to 15 minutes, something like that. So I highly recommend going to check out that documentary.
And that's right here is his YouTube channel. I'll put that into the chat box for everybody.
It is
and
14
is it right here?
billion years ago.
Oh, you know what, Scott? I think you're playing something by accident.
Yeah, I accidentally hit
great breath.
a little preview of what we're going to hear, the Great Warrior's Gift.
And why I was born. All I know is that I am.
Well, you're giving us a little view of our next guest. Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much, Kwadwo, for being with us and being in the ACE Circle. We love you.
Awesome. We love you too. Thank you for having me. And I mean, I'll still want to enjoy the show.
Perfect. Love you, brother.
Love you too.
Kwadwo, thank you so much. It's such an honor to have you with us. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Scott.
You know what's remarkable, everybody? There are still 3 more guests waiting. So it's going to be a longer show. So have a little extra coffee, a little extra tea, because we're gonna be here for a while. We've got so many amazing artists and their wisdom. So very, very exciting. All right, Kristin, you've hit home run after home run bringing in your friends here. But also,
so our next guest is the amazing Kara Stonehouse, and she was with us last season when we were on The Awakening World, and she premiered a brand new piece that month, on that show, and it has taken full form and is now this full beautiful video, and she's created a new poem that she's going to share today. Let me just tell you a little bit about Kara. Kara Stonehouse is a mesh worker, I love that, and graphic facilitator with the Hague Center for Global Governance, Innovation and Emergence. She believes that making the invisible visible helps us make the impossible possible. And Kara, I've been on so many programs with you now, and you have this incredible ability to take everything that's been shared and said and bring it into artistic form. I mean, how many meetings have ended with an incredible art piece by Kara where there's both a graphic illustration of what happened and then key words and phrases and ideas, and it's just bursting with light and love. Kara has a unique gift in this way to really bring conceptual ideas into a tangible, inspiring work. And I just want to ask you, Kara, can you tell us a little bit about how do you see yourself, both as an individual, using your artistic abilities in the world right now during this time of change? And also, what do you think is important around this concept of artists catalyzing evolution? Like, how does the arts play that larger role during this time?
Yeah, as evolutionary leaders, I feel like our role together, and the one I'm really excited to be living into as well, is really creating the forms for the new world that we want to so badly, that we need to build it together. And we're doing that through the convergences, through these kinds of gatherings, and to get really quite good at collaborating together globally, at like actually making new currency systems come into form, and new ways for justice to bring real peace to more people around the world. And our at the Hague Center, we do constellations to help us see these big patterns emerging. So we ask these deep questions like, what does it take for humanity to come into its rightful place in the flow of life and love? Because that's kind of this same story that Kwadwo has said to us, and that our karma cards are pointing us to, is that we've stepped aside from our true selves by accident. We've put ourselves out of order, saying humans are the gods of the world, and we're in charge of everything, and it's our earth to do what we please, and it's not our reality, it's not the true identity. And so we need this process of coming back into form. And so we do these bigger constellations with yin and yang money, and how does everything, what has to happen for it to come back into alignment. And one of the big insights from this large constellation we did was that the arts was really one of the core first movements that could open up for the rest of it to happen. And I think it connects to this worldview piece of bringing that unity worldview into our hearts and living it and seeing it and feeling it and believing it, so that we can make the other movements. And so with my graphic recording work, we facilitate like large multi-stakeholder groups to come together to make big system shifts. And that's so big and complicated and long-term, and what are we doing? And we're talking, and what are we creating? When I can draw it on the board, this is what we're creating, this is how we're getting there, this is where we are now, and here's the next step, then it grounds it just enough that everyone can see, aha, that's my company name in Canada is AHA Graphic Facilitation. AHA, this is what we're creating, this is what we're talking about. And it grounds it into a prototype that we can see, and then we can keep going. And in collective intelligence, we call that like an artifact that we can jam with or play ball with as to make our collective wisdom be able to come forward. And so that's how I see my leadership in this sort of facilitative role that makes visible what it is we're up to and why it's important, and making it just that next step real for us. Yeah.
Wow. I love that word, artifact. I mean, it's incredible, right? It's like this very poignant piece of art that really can be identified and inspire and really travel through time, and has that. I think that the most powerful art often is encoded with those timeless messages, like an artifact. Wow. So, yeah. Kara, what can you tell me a little bit? You've mentioned that in addition to ACE, you do meet with other groups kind of monthly. And what can you tell me a little bit, like, from your point of view, how can artists meeting together really serve? And for those who are watching right now, who are inspired, maybe who have felt lonely on your own path, I just want to share a little bit about our process, so that maybe you can feel that spark to go create your own little group. And Kara just said to me recently in an email, even if there's just a few people that are gathering, it's so full. Can you just talk a little bit about that process for you? Like, what is it like to meet with other artists, and how does that help fuel your path?
Yeah. Well, the connection I make most about what you were bringing up there is my project in Canada is the Spirit of Canada Dialogues. And so it's looking at that feeling of separation, and that we feel like we can't talk about issues because we're too polarized. And how do we create spaces for us to come in and relate where we couldn't before, because there's a space that's held that's safe enough to do it with enough love and intention by the team. So we meet every week for that, and monthly. And so we're creating a big project now that's called with Reconciliation Canada, where we're going to do a whole sweep, a whole journey caravan kind of across Canada, and have dialogues in every country, every province, each moon of the year. And it's all about unity. It's all about how do we and it's coming from the Indigenous people. Many of their leaders came to the same conclusion, like right now what we need is unity, and it is the spirit of unity to be more alive in us. And I'm just missing the word right now, is mahawat or something like that. And so what we're creating is after each, as we have these dialogues, we're going to have an artist in each place that's responsible for bringing out what was the beauty from those dialogues, and then sharing it in a national art exhibit that will be, hopefully, if it all goes to plan, like there'll be, like on your phone, you'll point your phone at a big wall, and then you'll see this mural that someone created, and it's many places in Canada. So it's like this virtual national gallery that's bringing forward what's coming out for this spirit of unity for Canada. And so that's really just getting started, and we're really just reaching out and saying, who are these artists, who wants to be part of that? And so if people have some connections or inspiration to be part of that, then they could certainly get in touch with me and come into that process. But so it's really beautiful connecting with Erin Dixon, who's the Reconciliation Canada representative. She's Indigenous, and so just being in the space with her and creating in partnership, because that's a big tension in Canada, is the Indigenous and settler or European tensions there. So it's a project of reconciliation as well. So
beautiful. Please do put your contact info in the chat so that those who are inspired to learn more can or engage. It sounds like this is a project that can really invite in so many different artists. That's amazing. And I just would love to, I know you're going to share a brand new piece today. And I have to say, the last time when you shared a brand new piece, I should have buckled my seatbelt, because it was one of the most incredible pieces of art that I have ever experienced. Literally, it was soul-stirring, reconnective, ancient and future, and so now. And it was, we're going to get to see it at the end, your next evolution. But it made me realize, wow, I've experienced you as a drawing artist for so long, and suddenly this whole piece of poetry and visuals was being birthed, and I was just in total, utter awe. So I'm very excited for us to get a chance to witness this next birthing of yours today. And tell us a little bit about the piece you're going to be sharing with us.
yeah. Well, that whole process was a bit of a surprise to me as well. Like, I didn't really know, I wasn't really planning to do a poem, but I was just invited to share something on the awakening world. And I wanted to share something about the harvest of what's happening with the World Unity Week and the Peace Week convergences that are happening every year now with Unity Earth. And that just kind of popped out as when I was with that question, like, what wants to be shared of that big story. And then it was so well supported by everyone, by you, Kristin, and by Scott, and by Ben, helping everyone trying to jump on board and said, wow, what do you need to take this forward? And so it was really this beautiful, like, to bring a lot of it came from my sort of spiritual practice work as well, sort of was holding it, and to bring my voice forward and for it to be heard and celebrated and supported was just such an opening and awakening for me as well. Like, makes me feel like I can be more, like the voice I want to share is ready to be heard and received in the world. So it's just really, really amazing. And so it's kind of a funny story about this one, because I was just on a trip traveling with my mother around France, and we went to the Palace of Versailles, and we heard the story about how Louis XIV made this opulent palace and gold everywhere, and we walked through it, and the bedroom was just like you couldn't get any more gold in these bedrooms, and the gardens were huge, and the fountains had these sun gods, and he spent billions of their time's money making an aqueduct so they could get enough water over to his property to make the fountains run, and so then the people revolted and said, what are you doing? You're wasting all our money, and we're starving in Paris. And then so then they had a big revolution, and what did they get was Napoleon instead made himself the emperor, and so they got even, and went and conquered even more. And I don't know the full history, but like, so I was just kind of blown away by the just like, oh, like, how do we do it better? Like, what do we want from an evolutionary point of view? Like, how do we build it the kind of shift that we want to see that doesn't get us in a worse spot than when we started, and so that wealth is distributed fairly, and all those things, and all those big questions that we want to answer as evolutionaries. And so I kind of woke up in the morning early, and I was just kind of like crying, and just sort of inspired, and this just sort of started flowing through. And then it's just so funny that just in all that mix, all that I was so busy with the trip and everything, I didn't even actually know I was going to be on this show, but that the poem came through anyways, and it's for the show, so it's just so beautiful. So, okay, we don't have a lot of time, so let's go into the poem. Eh?
I love that story, though. Thank you for doing it. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, so here we are. So there is a world yearning for us to live it into reality. Not only is it possible, it is necessary. It's deeply desired by billions of people and inevitably coming. But it needs you. This world, this glimmering mirror of the deep past and the deep future, it flashes in our minds like an ancient hologram. It flickers in our hearts and souls like a sad memory of a lost love. This yearning is so deep for this world, I cry myself awake. It is calling us forward. It needs us to live it into being. It needs you to commit everything you have to building it. The shadows have grown long. The power feels so ominous. It feels impossible that we can change that much. But I assure you, walk with me and walk together. We can't do it without you. We need you to believe that what you are creating matters to the universe. I need your courage. I need your open heart. I need you to fail again and again and never give up. I need you to fuel this world into being. This world of love dancing in the streets. This world where every single baby and seed are cared for by humans as much as I love them. This world where we stand in a circle with the babies and the seeds in the center, and we are facing out to the wolves who would profit from eating their souls. And we say a resounding and collective no. We summon the fierceness of the lioness, the strength of the buffalo, and the wily of the coyote. We stand in a circle of light, of true accountability and justice for our collective actions on this planet. There is no force great enough to pierce through our commitment to life, to the thriving of all. We talk in a circle for many days until we are all clear of the way. No shame, no blame, only building the way that will flip the outcomes of our complex and beautiful societies. A new set of agreements, a new accounting system, the great unraveling of beliefs and desires, the great awakening to a life that is simple and true to the divine order. We are shocked how easy it is to be happy and fulfilled as we simplify and serve the whole together. We learned how to funnel our collective wealth into the collective future. We learned how to limit the oppressive personal conquest. The palace of Versailles glitched and flickered, dissolved particle by particle. The Greek gods with their glorious gold gilding were released and streamed through the ether, and our classrooms became our palaces of potential. Napoleon's statue closed its eyes and crumbled to dust, and rain washed the dust back to each conquered land where it belongs. In Auschwitz, a city of hope was built. A stream of suffering souls walked home. They forgave the pain of this world and decided to come back with the lessons deeply ingrained in humanity. Only love can make us whole again. We finally mastered the art of global, peaceful evolution. It was so subtle. You barely noticed it developing. It looked as if a bunch of crazy people were gathering to talk about strange dreams. No one even really noticed that an entire new political and financial system was forming from our thousands of conversations, meditations, writings, and constellations, diligently, piece by piece, piece by piece. So, my dear co-creators, our journey is just beginning. It is your time now. Seize the day, open, open, open to possibility and potential. Share everything you have in this trusted circle of light. Bring your vegetable to the giant pot of stone soup. Hold it in your hand in the air and slowly open your hand and look at it. Bless it and let it go into the warming water. Let it dissolve and mix in the broth. Smell the rich aroma of our co-creation and know that it is enough.
that you are enough. We are enough to bring this world we yearn for into being.
I'm going to go to gallery view just so we can all twinkle and you can see all the amazing reactions that people are having.
Wow, wow, wow. That was so incredibly profound, Kara. Wow. Whew. I'm so grateful that we're hearing your voice. Your art is so inspiring, and I'm so grateful that we're getting a chance to hear your voice. You have, I feel, this very special ability, which is like to zoom out and almost have this macro spirit voice of humanity in your poetry. It's so profound, and it tunes us into that view where we're able to really see the overarching story. And I think that is a rare ability, and I just honor you on your path, and I look forward to so much more of your voice in whatever capacity. You're truly leading with the arts and with your voice, and I'm so grateful for everything you're bringing to us.
Kara, I want to read a few of the comments that are coming into the chat box, and then there's an important question for you. Sage writes, bravo. My heart is breaking open with this powerful affirmation and call to action. A rhythm so strong we cannot ignore it, and channel it into our bloodstreams and our heart songs of a breathtaking revolution. George writes, great poem, Kara, perfect venue for maximum impact. Quajo writes, amazing poem, Kara. I can't do a Quajo accent. I wish I could. He's got such a beautiful voice. Eleanor Joy writes, that was very enlightening and necessary for us. Charlotte, stunning. I cried myself awake. Absolutely stunning. Thank you. Suzanne brought tears to me. So profound, so beautiful. You are such a gift. Yes, a rare gift. Thank you for your voice. Mary Beth, thank you, Kara, for beautifully expressing our community heart's desire. And that is what you did. It is our community heart's desire. And Karen's asking the important question, is this powerful poem available? How can we pass it on to others?
Yeah, so this one is brand new, so I haven't done anything with it yet, but I'm having a YouTube channel called Clear Channel. There's a link I sent you to just your personal chat there a second ago, Scott. And so I have the Great Weaver's Gift on there, and then there's a body of work around this song that I received called About Being Home, and then some describing talks around that of what I mean from those teachings.
Yeah. So I'm putting into the chat box what you had sent me. I'm just changing it to say Kara would love. So Kara would love for people to go to that YouTube channel. And at the end of the show, or towards the end of the show today, we're going to show kind of the final version of what she created. So this is the YouTube channel. I just put it into the chat box. See, and everybody watching on Facebook, this is where you've got to join our Zoom room so you can get the information more easily. But I guess if you go to YouTube and you put in the Great Weaver's Gift, and we're going to play this a little bit later tonight. And this is the actual, this is what's on your channel right now, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And definitely let's all subscribe. We definitely want to make sure you subscribe. And I'm just going to put the simple YouTube channel into our chat box here. Amazing. Now, we're also going to take a look at the website for the Hague Center. And tell us, is this a coalition of people? And tell us a little bit about what the Hague Center actually is.
Yeah, we're a foundation and a consulting firm. So we do, we offer a lot of, we call it mesh hole holding and mesh weaving. So we're at a lot of events with a lot of evolutionary leaders, and we connect and align all the evolutionaries to help us take all the spiritual steps we need. And we do a lot of, we call it energetic architecture work. So we're doing the constellations and the deep listening to the field and to nature to help us get the deepest wisdom we can and help and bring that forward. So we all move forward in that way together. And our latest one was really interesting with Sarah McCrum about the polarities of money and integrating the shadows of money. We did some constellations on that. So this natural design is one of our main frameworks that we use, and we use spiral dynamics and that kind of thing. And so we're just getting more now into bigger grants and bigger client work to bring to do the big multi-stakeholder work and facilitating deeper change processes. So it's a global team of just really advanced practitioners in that.
It sure is. Look at all of your partners. These are all of our friends.
Yes.
Wow. Well, definitely everybody sign up, go to the Hague Center.us and sign in so that you can stay in touch with what she's doing. I'm going to do that right now. I think we're all blown away. That poem was amazing. And please let me know, once it's available on your YouTube channel, let me know, because I will, whatever Awakening World is happening that weekend, I will play it and send people there, because it really, just like Kristin's song, it became like the theme song for the Awakening World. That poem is like the poem for the Awakening World. You nailed it.
Great. Yeah, we are wondering how we can share it more with the world. So that would be wonderful. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I look forward to this new poem finding its form, just as the Weaver's Gift did since our last journey with the Awakening World. So
yes, and I just didn't want to leave without saying a really big thank you to Linda DeHart and Christopher Grafe at Colors in Motion, because they worked really hard and volunteered a lot of time and energy to make the video. So I just want to make sure I got that appreciation. Yeah.
Thank you,
and we'll bring you back on when we show the Great Weaver's Gift towards the end of the show.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Love you. Thank you for being here. And now we are in for a beautiful musical journey, and we get to speak with the incredible Dr. Ivy Hilton. Ivy, I just adore you so much, and it's perfect that you are bathed in pink today, because you put out so much love to this world. Let me just tell everyone a little bit about Ivy. Ivy is a holistic, integrative health practitioner specializing in contemplative interventions in wholeness and well-being. She is an international sound healer and sacred performance artist, a national certified restorative justice trainer, mindfulness licensed psychotherapist, recording artist, and concert soprano vocalist. Wow. Ivy, you just do so much and you give so much to this world, and it's been a true honor to get to know you through the years, to share with you in music, to watch your journey unfold, and to witness all of the goodness that you're bringing to others and opening up these portals of awakening on such a regular basis now. And tell us a little bit about your musical journey of the past few years, and where are you now? I know you told us some exciting news when we were in the pre-show, and I think you're about to birth into a whole new experience, right? That involves some shows and whatnot. Just tell us a little bit about what moves you. Why do you choose music as your path? What is so sacred about the spaces that are opened up?
Ooh, boy.
Just some juicy questions, but I just want to put this in your hands to give us a little taste of your journey as an artist catalyzing evolution.
Well, that is a really wonderful questions. And it took me back when you said, what moves me to music? And I think it took me way back to when I was like 10 and 11 years old. Before I even knew anything about music, other than what we used to do in school, and we would sing in the choir and that kind of thing. So that's my history. With that, I played the violin, the viola, the cello. I learned piano, and then I became a teenager and started doing some other things, like joining the playground and going on trips. But then I would always come back to the music part of me. And my sister reminds me that I used to develop these little concerts in my backyard. And I built a stage, and I would tell all of my friends to come. And I must have been, really focused on making money, because I told them that it cost 5 cents. I said, I don't even remember that. My sister said, I used to have everybody come into the backyard, and then I would start singing like opera. I don't know, where that was coming from. And then eventually my aunt told me that it's in my DNA, and that's when I found out, about Marian Anderson. My maiden name is Anderson. We didn't know that we were all related. So it was sort of like a kind of a karmic experience of, this is who I am. This is what my soul is here to do in this world. And I didn't even know it at 10 and 11 years old. So it has followed me my entire life. So music has been a part of my life from the very beginning.
Wow. It's so great. I didn't even know some of your background with music. It sounds like you've really gone on journeys with different instrumentations and started at a very early age. I feel the profound nature of the spaces that you're opening up these days with so much intention. Can you just express a little bit about, like, when you are in your element and connecting to spirit or whatever you want to call it, what do you think is that? What is your goal? What is the possibility that exists there, for others, for the earth, for spirit? Like, what is moving you to open these spaces, and what's possible within those realms?
So I think what is moving me is the ability to find peace, love, compassion, and comfort in our own skin. What's moving me is finding ways to establish and empower emotional wellness. As a psychospiritual psychotherapist now for almost over 40 years, I found out that when I use music and sound, that it penetrated in the soul in a way that talk therapy would take years to do, almost instantly. So when I started discovering the power of sound, vibration, and frequency with the purpose of emotional healing, I started exploring it and taking a deeper dive into how can I use this in my work. And then all of a sudden it became a part of me. I developed a group called Spellbound, and we actually went on tour with Jan Levanzant when she would call us in, when she was started in the very beginning of her career writing books. And then when we started doing, everybody kept saying, what is all this you're bringing on the stage, all of this sound and instruments from around the world? I said, I don't know, they keep following me, and I'm just going to keep on working with them until the truth of what they are in my life becomes revealed. And then a friend of mine told me, I used to do Friday night crystal bowl meditations, and I did it for like 3 years, and then I stopped doing it for a little while. And she called me from the hospital one day and said to me, Ivy, I really need you to bring the sound spa to me. And you don't know how well it was serving my life. And when I got to her, she had passed away. And what I didn't know is that she left me some information that said to me, the vibrational frequencies, the music, the healing, and the meditation sustained her life. And I had no idea it was doing that. So as a result of that experience, and we called her the Fabulous One, the Fabulous One set me on a path to create healing for the world.
I feel that so deeply. So that we can discover the fabulous one and oneness within us all.
Yes.
Oh, I'm just really receiving that, feeling that. I know we can all just twinkle you with gratitude for your commitment to this, to opening these fabulous spaces. And I know we're going to get to experience a brand new piece today. And I think it's tied into this journey that you're going to be going on shortly. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're birthing right now and what are we going to be experiencing?
Well, what is being birthed right now, and it started in November of last year, and now it's ready to roll out, is a new EP that is entitled The Frequency of Love. And what it is an integration of sonic meditations and sonic digital art. And the digital art came as a result of me sharing my music with Piper Dellums, who I think is in the Zoom right now. And Piper Dellums is an award-winning documentarist, she's a psychologist, she's a spiritual healer, and a spiritual warrior. And so when I shared the music with her, she told me she started receiving these messages around a sonic visualization of how to express and interpret the vibrational frequencies of the frequency of love. And then she shared it with me, like it was like instant. And I said, oh my God, this is going to be a national tour. It's a national emotional wellness tour using sound vibronics and sonic mind streaming that I just recently received the trademark for. And so what we're going to be doing is going to 10 different cities, sharing these healing vibrational frequencies with the purpose of establishing a spiritual higher consciousness, empowering emotional wellness, and exploring how we can use sound in our everyday life as medicine to heal and bring our world together, because we are separating more and more from what we heard earlier. So my catalyzing contribution to the world is realizing that healing and wellness begins in the mind. And the whole concept of sound vibronics is based on the science that sound frequencies and intentional thought forms collaborated together with vibration equals instant manifestation and changing in consciousness. So it's my intention to go around and shift consciousness to a higher realm so that we can find healing and come together as one in unity.
I feel that so deeply. And you just demonstrated the power of really speaking forth your intention with clarity. And I want to just say that every time I go to play, speaking that intention is so important, and encouraging everyone here, start to speak your intention more regularly, just as Dr. Ivy just shared with us. So powerful. And Piper, it's so wonderful to be with you. I think we're going to experience this journey with you now, Ivy. So
Yes.
let's go into this incredible intentional field, which you've opened so beautifully, and let ourselves find that healing that we're looking for.
Yes, melt into vibrational experience.
Here we go.
Allow your shoulders to droop down, 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 deeper and deeper into relaxation. And close your eyes. And in your mind's eye, begin to create a new reality. What is it that you truly desire right now? Use your soul language of the silence to guide your light. See your thoughts passing through the clouds right now. Allow your thoughts to move through the spaces of your mind. Drop down, 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 down into the experience. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Turn your awareness into your inner mind. of pure light. Truth and understanding. Holiness,
Hmm.
Wow. Wow. I'm bringing your partner, Piper Dellums, on.
Piper. Hi. We can't hear her.
Sorry, I wasn't expecting to have to say anything, but it's so good to see Kristin, and I love you both. I love you, Ivy.
Love you
Lovely
more.
to meet you all.
Oh
That
my
was
God.
incredible. Ivy and Piper, what an incredible collaboration you have created together. And just so grateful that I had a chance today to really take this in such a deep way. I feel that it's shifted my whole being, just experiencing this beautiful, beautiful piece, this journey of pure spirit. Thank you for your gifts. Thank you, thank you. Wow.
Thank you, thank you. You know, I'm over here a bit overwhelmed. And I think this is the first time I've seen it in this way, because we have not released them. This is something that is has not been released, so it's a special preview, but it certainly is an inspiration to get it going.
I would say so. This must be out in the world soon.
Well, she did 5 of them. And so we have, you can find the music on Bandcamp, thanks to my vocal instructor, Kristin, on Bandcamp, you know, Dr. ivyshadia.bandcamp.com. You can download them and stream them anytime you want. But now we're in the process of moving around the country, bringing this vibration into what we call the immersion experience. So you'll be in a room with the video in the ceiling, the floor, and all 4 walls with the live vibrational music happening simultaneously. And that's the vision. We want to shift consciousness in this way, shift DNA in this way, and shift the direction of the world in this way.
May I add something really quickly to what Ivy just spoke, and also thank all of these beautiful artists for being here. As a drama therapist and an Afro-Indigenous shamanic healer, living all over South Africa and Kenya, Congo. So Simunye to my brother, Simunye, we are one. But Ivy, when Ivy contacted me, I had been rescuing women and children all over the world from human trafficking and domestic violence, and utilizing indigenous plant medicine for their healing outside of big pharma. And she called me at a time where it was so extraordinarily necessary for my own healing. Her music, her vibration, her gift, the download. This is an essential artist, an essential angelic spirit, an eternal Pachamama on the earth. She sent the music to me, not with the intention of healing generations of me, generations of my ancestors down to a cellular, which is what she did, but it invoked a dreamscape. And that dreamscape ended up actually manifesting, as I'm also the therapist for Broadway shows, for all of the actors and staff on Broadway shows and touring. And this was a new touring Broadway show, and they called me in to be the therapist for all of the actors. And I have to say out loud, this coming together was orchestrated, because Ivy's music and voice and God-sent intentional prophetic legacy healing saved the life of a Broadway star. she knows, and I can't share all of their story. But before opening night of a huge Broadway show, this performer fell prey to addiction and depression, generational historical trauma. I had to heal with my words, but it took Ivy's voice and this legacy of work that we're doing to actually pull this person from suicide and heroin back to a place where they wanted to fight for their life. They called Ivy and said, "You didn't call me. You didn't send this unintentionally. You saved the life of a star who is changing the lives of so many." So God bless you, Ivy, for your gift and for that simple call and for the saying yes. I love you.
Love you more, my love. Thank you for that story.
Thank you for sharing that incredible story. Wow. We're going to go to Ivy's website in a moment, but I do always enjoy reading some of the comments from our beautiful Global Peace Tribe. And Ivy, if you could also put in the chat box, we're on Bandcamp. You said it a little bit fast. I wasn't able to track it, and I'll pull it up on Bandcamp to show people. But here are some beautiful comments that are coming in. Karen writes, "Amazing. Piper Dellums, thank you for your beautiful sharing." Suzanne writes, "So beautiful, and words cannot convey how this touched me. And yes, this is essential to permeate around the world." Mary Beth writes, "Wow, that truly transported me to a blissful state. It was so visually beautiful. I couldn't close my eyes. Thank you so much, Mama Ivy and Piper." Udo writes, "Healing sonic voice indeed." And George, one of our dear friends, who's hearing impaired, which is kind of important for what he has to say here. He writes, "Not everyone knows that feeling, emotion that corresponds with our hearing. I only recently realized this. Emotional blockages have been a function of my lifelong hearing challenges." So thank you for sharing that, George. And oh, great, there's where to find it on Bandcamp. So I'm going to go there. This show has been a remarkable show. I mean, I've done 500 Awakening Worlds or Global Peace Tribe shows, and this is one of the most remarkable ones ever. All right, so here's where we can get Ivy on Bandcamp, and we're also going to go to her website. But here it is on Bandcamp. Dr. Ivy Shadia, Shadia is a new name that she's invoked. And so this is where we can get the Frequency of Love EP. And I'm going to order it right away. I'm going to order it as soon as we move on to the next thing. And I also want to take people to her main website. Ivy, you've got so much going on, I tell you. Her main website is drivysoundspa.com, and she does light us up with her sound vibronics. And you can click here to order essential oils from her. She does essential oils. You can get some little excerpts of her amazing frequency vibrational meditations, her sound spa, and videos. There's a lot going on here. Hey, there we are. Some of her appearances on the Global Peace Tribe shows, some of her sound spas. Look at all the things you're doing, Ivy. You're amazing. Absolutely amazing. And there you are. You're coming today from Sister Jenna's Meditation Museum. And I had the honor of being with Sister Jenna in person here in Sedona yesterday. So it is, again, one big happy family. There we are on one of our shows together. So definitely go to this beautiful website where there's so many things that she's doing and providing, and you can just get to experience all the different elements of Dr. Ivy. There she is with Kristin Hoffmann, of course. There she is with other friends of ours. This is amazing. How do you do all of this?
Oh. With the blink of the eye and deep breaths.
And
being
Dr. Ivy always says yes, almost always. I feel like you're just you are a yes when asked to step forward and share your gifts. And I just want to honor how many times you've showed up for so many incredible invitations that have allowed people to tap into this space and this gift that you give so lovingly. So
Thank you very much, my beloved sister. And thank you, Scott, for always reaching in. And I love you, Piper. I think this is just the beginning of some very powerful artwork that we're going to continue to create together. And I'll throw this out here. I am looking for sonic art statues to present during the tour. So statues that represent sonic art. And that came from David here at Om Shanti Village. He said, I want to do a sculpture, but with some sound. And I thought, oh my God, wouldn't that be amazing? So if you're an artist that does that, let us know, get in touch with us.
And, you know, I would love to do a show with just Piper and Mama, you know, just really the two of you, because learning more about your story, sharing, you know, your videos, I think that, you know, that would make a beautiful Sacred Sunday show, just the three of us.
Ooh, I love it.
So let's take a look at doing that in December, okay?
Okay, I love it. Thank you.
Absolutely. And there's still more. That's the remarkable thing. There's still more.
There's still more.
Nice to meet you, Piper. God bless you.
Big love, Piper. Big love, Reverend Ivy. Adore you. Okay, and we're coming close. We're coming close to
We'll
the
be
end,
done
but
tonight.
we're in flow.
We'll be done before sunset.
Okay, so our next guest is not here with us in person today, but she is definitely here in spirit, and I just have to give a huge shout out to Keishi Chai, who has co-founded the Artist Catalyzing Evolution Circle with me, and she is currently in Australia, and it was the middle of the night for her, and but she has sent us one of her newest art experiences from weaving art out in the field. Let me just tell you a little bit about Keishi. Keishi is a New York City-based performer, theatrical director, teacher trainer, and award-winning designer. She co-founded the professional dance company and school Belly Queen and Pure, which means Public Urban Ritual Experiment, a global community focused on healing and social change through dance and music. And we're going to experience a short piece that was recently shared by Pure, and Keishi sent a little synopsis of it. So let me just read her words so that we can really know what we're about to see. Pure Globe Public Urban Ritual Experiment is an international community of artists dedicated to positive social change in the world. The first 2004 Pure Procession was a response to the shadow hanging over New York City after 9/11. We wanted to bring healing, peace, and unity through meditation, dance, and music into downtown Manhattan by visiting different sites and pay our respects to the site of the Twin Towers. With the Ukraine-Russian conflict and the threat of nuclear war, we are clearly still in need of peace and reconciliation. We dance echoing patterns in nature, such as circle, spirals, and vibrations, with our formations and movement to honor ourselves, each other, and the audience of our ancestors, and the trees in the park. It was significant to do this during Peace Week, when so many others were creating programming, bringing people together for peace to lift up the frequency of the collective field. And this piece took place in Rome. And she says, why Rome? In 2007, Isabel, a dancer based in Rome, had heard about Pure and was so moved she invited me to visit Italy in the future to dance for peace in her city. The location of our procession is in the most diverse, multicultural neighborhood in Rome, and also is home to many diverse plants. Dancing with us was Alyssa Gorova, a Ukrainian refugee who fled the Ukraine soon after the war broke out for Spain. So we are about to experience this pure procession that Keishi shared in Italy. Here we go.
Wow.
Wow, profound. I have to say, Keishi's work always touches straight to the core, straight to the heart of humanity. And I've had the chance to weave with her live and her pure group, and I'm always moved to tears. So many incredible women from different backgrounds, lineages, shapes, sizes, ages. It's truly incredible who she calls into her circle, and then through this shared portal of art that we can all just remember something very important about, oh, we all can engage in movement, we can all share in this one human family, we can all partake in the arts and in creativity and really feel that and celebrate with each other. I just always cry every single time that I get to weave with Keishi. And
yeah, you pointed out what stood out for me about that video was the remarkable diversity of the women. I mean, I saw multiple ethnic groups, obviously a very large age range. And it was beautiful seeing how they all come together. And that in itself is a visual expression of the unification that we keep talking about over and over and over again.
Yes, so incredible. So thank you, Keishi. If you're listening back later, we are so grateful for your evolutionary work in this world, and look forward to more.
And I'm grateful for all the people that are watching us for 2.5 hours.
We love you guys so much.
Incredible, just so much beautiful work that all of you are doing. This Artists Catalyzing Evolution is a very important group, and may it grow and grow and grow. And before we move forward,
Oh, yes. Yes, of course.
I do want to, well, no, actually, you think I'm doing something different. I'm going to your website.
You should also show Keishi's website. That's what I was thinking.
That's right. We will do
Perfect.
that.
Thank you, Scott. I'm moved.
No, absolutely. And, Kristin puts so much into the world. When Kristin was talking about how Dr. Mama says yes to so many things, well, likewise, we are blessed for every time Kristin says yes to being on the awakening world. So, of course, first and foremost, sign up right away so that she has your email address. But I want to encourage you to join us. Now, there's a lot of different ways that you can support her. You can buy her albums, you can give her a tip, but you've heard me say before, for those of you that are regulars, and many of you have joined her Sonic Soul family, but if you haven't joined yet, come join us. It's a wonderful group of people. We meet the second Sunday of every month.
Which is this week, this Sunday.
This is this Sunday. So that's right, it's today. So
No, it's not today. Next Sunday.
Next
Sorry.
Sunday.
Sorry, today is Sunday. I don't mean to confuse. I know today is Sunday. This coming Sunday.
All of a sudden I thought, oh my God.
It's not today. I thought, oh my God, too, for a second. Wow, am I missing? Okay.
So join now so you can be part of her Sonic Soul family gathering next Sunday afternoon. You can join at $11, $33, or $77. I came in at the $77 and would do it over and over and over because she provides so much to us. So please support our beloved Kristin Hoffmann.
Thank you so much, Scott. It means the world to me when you join every month too for the gatherings, and we get to just share such incredible times together. And the family is really growing, and there's this incredible family spirit and excitement to see each other again each month and share music and deep dialogue. So please come be in the family.
Absolutely. And you did mention, of course, we want to showcase you.
Yes.
And I'll put into the, I got so lost with her dance, I forgot to put in her bio, so I'll put that in the chat box. But here is her website. It's her name, Keishi Chai, Kaeshi Chai, Chi. And she does all sorts of wonderful things, including environmental programs. That's with the little plastic bottles being reused as a hat. And she's just kind of completing these tours that she's been on. And this is where she is right now. Here we are. She's in Australia. She just was in Rome, and now she's in Australia. And she might be coming near you. She has her Belly Queen school. I love that. Godzilla, Gods and Goddesses. That must have been an incredible program to see. Anyway, let's support Keishi. She's been on the show many times dancing to Kristin's music. You can find some of those sequences on our YouTube channel under the dynamic playlists. The very, very top, I have my favorite segments from Global Peace Tribe shows, and two of those segments are Kristin channeling through music while Keishi dances. So definitely catch that.
Well, I adore you, Scott. It's been incredible to be on another journey together in this realm of awakening. And I think we have our incredible house musician. Oh, wait, are we doing Kara's piece first?
Yes.
Oh, we're doing Kara's piece first. Okay, sorry, I mixed up the order.
That's
so we're going to share Kara's video that we spoke of earlier first, and then we will go out today with an incredible piece by the beloved Omashar, and then we will part ways. But there's still a little more to experience. Here we go.
Kara, tell us just briefly again about what we're about to see.
Yes, it's a poem. It's from the voice of the universe, and it's sharing, and it's inspired by the big dream of our collective, basically.
Okay, here we go.
Today is my birthday. It is 14 billion years ago. I am born from everything and nothing. A great breath of expansion. It is a mystery even to me how and why I was born. All I know is that I am, that I expand and I create. With infinite patience, mighty subtleness, vast tininess, and crushing love. Stars, molecules, planets, each pearl strung delicately in my web, weaving the foundations of life. I am a great weaver. I fell in love with the stars, such magnificence. I had come so far, but I was lonely. Like a dark side of the moon, I yearned for something more, a connection, a new version of myself discovering who I am. I am everything and nothing, holograms repeating in an infinite loop. I am love all alone in the vastness. I yearn to be contained, to be seen, to be loved back. Today I am born as this precious pearl, your Gaia. It is 4 billion years ago. Weaving rocks and water, ions, irons, magnetic fields, longer and longer chains of molecules. Cells. I am reborn in this new form. Life. Oh, freedom and boundaries, reproduction and death. Plants, microbes, snakes, fish, lizards, dinosaurs. Oh, I made sure you found them. Aren't they wondrous? Mice, birds, monkeys, humans. I am aware of myself. It is 2 million years ago. Oh, how I love humans. They see me. They love me. They became so clever. But what happened next is so heartbreaking. They forgot me, shut me out, betrayed the truth of their being. They think they know better. They cut each other off from me deliberately to weaken each other. Don't they know that our oneness is our power to evolve and our purpose? I am infinitely patient. I take up my needles, weaving, looping in souls open to our oneness. Pearls on a needle, click, click, click. Weaving, as money squeezes, skyscrapers erect, forests fall. Click, click, click. Mass extinction, world wars, femicide, genocide, ecocide. Click, click, click. Some tell a story of humanity as a cancer on the earth, a bacteria multiplying to ultimate destruction. I am knitting them a sweater, 2 sizes too big, and when they are ready to come in from the cold, I will warm them by my fire and we will start again. Click, click, click. The first pearl connects to the last, all woven in repeating scales. You, the lights of love and grace, you who refuse to forget, I see you. Building your magic canoe, I hear you. Singing to me and allowing me to sing through you. I feel your love. You give me hope in this old, patient heart. I am here for you. I am always here for you. Every single one of you. Every single one of you. Our purpose is entangled, the breath of love ever expanding, rainbow colors shimmering in the dark. Beauty is your purpose. Joy is your compass. Love is the force that ensures we survive. Now I am very, very old. My time is coming to an end. Before this light extinguishes, I dream that you and your ancestors will fulfill our purpose. I feel you, planting the seeds of natural governance in my dark, rich soil. I feel your network finding the rhythm of life sustaining, galooping, badooping, shooping. I hear your social body finding its stomping feet and its resounding voice of truth like church bells over a sleepy town. I smell you, bringing the masculine and feminine into right relationship, you frisky beasts. I feel you, awakening in your role in the superorganism like a child arriving home from the war. I know you are journeying home together to one world, this space that holds your dreams. I can taste you, catalyzing peace through unity like a sun-ripe strawberry bursting into joy. I rejoice, for today is my birthday, and you are my gift.
Karen Eisenberg writes, moved beyond tears. Thank you, Kara. Eleanor Joy writes, each part of this beautiful presentation should be a study in much greater detail. There's so much wisdom and love being shared. Heartfelt gratitude. Sage writes, magnificent wonderfulness for all of us. Charlotte writes, so exquisite and moving. Dorina writes, wow, again, such a joy feast, art celebration, and love fest on this sacred Sunday.
Infinite gratitude. And Kara just celebrating this birth, this piece in its full expression, and just seeing that so much more of your voice combined with your art is going to be moving out into the world. You really do have such a powerful and unique expression as an artist, and I'm just really celebrating that, and I believe in you. I really do. So thank you all so much for being here with us today.
Kwajo is still with us, so I'm going to bring him up to
Kwajo, you're still here. Oh,
and Piper is still with us. There's Piper, so we want to thank her.
Hi, Piper.
And our beloved Omashar, who has been with us through the whole show, and will conclude this amazing Artists Catalyzing Evolution episode of The Awakening World. One of my favorite shows. This was just fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Thank you, Kristin. Thank you, Kwajo. Thank you, Kara. Thank you, Piper. What a wonderful new friend. And I'm looking forward to a full Sacred Sunday with you and Dr. Mama Ivy.
And we're looking forward to it too. You can't see me, but I can hear and see you.
Okay.
We love you, Ivy. Thank you for being here, and want to give a shout out to Lisa. Thank you for your incredible card sharing, and Keishi. And I don't think I've missed anyone. You guys are all doing such incredible work in the world with your art and with your great spirits. And, together we can really harness a whole other level of energy. And as Kara's piece was playing, I was like, oh my gosh, maybe Piper and Kara need to talk. And, together we can really birth even a more magnificent and wondrous collective. And just supporting each other too. It's so important as artists to support each other, because it can feel like a lonely road. And we can get so isolated in our worlds that we forget oh my gosh, we can just reach out to our other artist friends, and I think through that shared experience, it really helps to lift our hearts and helps me for sure continue on my journey as an artist. I know that. And I think I can speak for most of us in that just feeling that camaraderie and feeling that others are going through the journey and having the challenges and having to overcome obstacles, and then celebrating the joys and having the visions and all of this. It's part of it all. And we can really be here for each other. Love you all. And celebrating all of the artists in the audience today who are feeling those creative, juicy sparks bubbling up within, and may your future creations also be something that gives you and others joy in this world. So Omashar, you always give my heart joy, and thank you so much for bringing us out today with musical, magical wonder. Here we go.
Here we go. And yes, what an amazing, deepening smorgasbord. It's like feeling isolated has been a part of my road. And so thank you so much for reminding me that we are here and we are doing it together. And now we're collaborating, and it's phenomenal. And so what I'm going to, I've lost everything, share right now is perhaps one of the oldest mantras on the planet, the Sacred Sunday. So here we go. Let's just do it. All right. That one goes to
Swaha Tatsavito Varenia Bargo Devasyadi Mahi Diyoyonat Prachodayat Om Borbuva Swaha Tatsavito Varenia Bargo Devasyadi Mahi Yo-yo-nat prachodayat Swaha Tatsavito Varenia Bargo Devasyadi Mai Diyoyonat Prachodayat Tatsavito Varenia Margo Deva Syari Mahi Yo Yo Nakrachodaya. Tatsavito Varenia Margo Deva Syadi Mahi Yo Yo Nakrachodayat Om Bhuva Svaha Tatsavito Varenia Margo Deva Syadi Mahi Yo Yo Nakrachodayat. Deep breath. Tatsavito Varenia Margo Deva Syadi Mahi Yo Yo Nakrachodaya.
Oh, Omashar. First of all, everybody loves that background. I want to learn how you got it. It is like the best background yet. Awesome. Notice how everything keeps getting greater and greater on this show.
I know, right? We're all learning the technology. It's great.
I tell you, everything keeps getting better. And let's support him. If you haven't gotten his albums yet, please go to omashar.bandcamp.com and let's all support our beautiful brother. Omashar, thank you so much. That was perfect. And you had somebody else playing flute with you. You had a little.
I know. I heard it etherically. It's perfectly in tune.
I want to remind everybody of two things. Really, please join Kristin's monthly membership group. It's so wonderful when we gather every Sunday, second Sunday of the month, and we get to hear usually 2 musical numbers from Kristin and just share. It's a very beautiful time, and I'd love to see all of you next Sunday afternoon after our Sacred Sunday show. I'd love to see you with Kristin and her tribe. Also, I want to remind people to please join us tomorrow night. It's a very special free event. It's part of what I'm doing with the Illuminate Film Festival, and it's going to be really, really wonderful. All these, I called upon some of my favorite visionaries from Saturday Night Alive days and Awakening World days, and everyone said yes. So please join Marianne Williamson, Matt Kahn, Neil Donald Walsh, Gary Zukoff, and our beloved Twin Ray, and myself, tomorrow night, 5:30 Pacific time. You can get free tickets by going to the illuminatefilmfestival.com. Go to illuminatefilmfestival.com. Or if you are a member of the Global Peace Tribe, if you've registered for this season, I'll be sending out an email tonight with the link to tomorrow's show. All right. Once again, Kristin, I am going to bring you on. I love co-hosting with you. It's just such a blessing. Thank you so much.
Love you, Scott. Thank you so.
And we'll see you next Sunday afternoon.
See you next Sunday. Hope
All right,
some
everybody. Going to
new
gallery view.
beautiful beings join. Love you all so much. Have a wonderful Sunday evening.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.